Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your May 2021 love reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, this is what I call the bridge in the gap spread. And the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward a connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. We'll be looking at the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards with some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like in your situation it's the other way around, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Four of Staves. So this is actually Aries energy. And usually this is an energy that represents growth and expansion, so could just be saying that you actually saw the potential for this to be a long-standing commitment between the two of you. For some of you might have come to this realization during Aries season as well, and we just got out of Aries season, so it might have been pretty recent. But yeah, that's primarily what I'm seeing there, where you saw, like, you know, given that Aries energy for you guys too is your 5th house of romance and creativity, so it could just be saying that you might have had a lot of loving feelings toward this person. Past energy on their side, we have the Seven of Chalices. So this is actually the equivalent of the Seven of Cups in traditional tarot, and that's Scorpio energy. So the main thing that sticks out to me here is if we think about the Seven of Chalices in traditional tarot, there's a person standing in front of a bunch of cups, and it looks like they might not be able to see the situation clearly. It definitely represents an energy of confusion. And here I feel like the main thing that sticks out to me is that could just be saying that they might have been open to the connection physically, but when it comes to the actual emotion behind it and everything, I feel like they might have been moving a lot more slowly. And what sticks out to me there is that turtle that we see in the background, and he's like moving toward the candles and everything. So it's like physically they might have been able to connect with you guys right away, but as far as feeling an emotional attachment within the connection, that might have been a lot more, might have taken a lot more time for them to get there. And present position on your side, we have the 10 of Arrows. So in some decks this definitely represents an ending, and this deck though, it's not so much that, it's about acquiring wisdom. And for me, I sometimes see it as, you know, actually coming out of the cycle of being stuck in your head. So if we think about the fact that there's 9 arrows there, all moving in the same direction, and then the one separate from it makes me think of coming out at 9 of Swords energy and then actually moving into that Ace of Swords energy. So it could just be saying that you might add some realizations around the connection. So for example, maybe you were having some doubts as to whether, you know, okay, is it just this person wanting nothing more than a physical connection, whereas it looks like, obviously, like I said, you had a lot more of a romantic outlook on the connection. You might be getting some insights around that. For a small percentage of you, this could be saying that you actually communicated that you wanted to end the connection, but I feel like that's a little less likely. And I will say, keep in mind that at the time of recording this, we're still a few days away from the full moon in Scorpio, but it could even be pointing to that energy, which is to say that given that that's a full moon in your 12th house, if you guys have been stuck in your heads around something, some insights might come in during that full moon that'll actually free you from that energy. Alright, so present energy on their side, we have the King of Wands, which is Leo energy, and the Six of Wands, also Leo energy. So here we see a much more, you know, firm, confident position as opposed to the Seven of Chalices there. So could just be saying that this person does come to the realization that they actually do see that potential with you as well. And, you know, if that's the case, actually pursuing that with you. So for some of you, that could be what it is. For some of you, if you guys were stuck in your head, it might actually be what gets you out of that, is this person actually coming forward and expressing that they do have feelings for you, so that could put your mind at ease in that regard. And for a smaller percentage of you, if you guys do actually decide to end it with this person, that could be like their wake-up call for them that makes them realize, oh, wait a minute, you know what I mean? Let me actually get back with Sagittarius. So could play out either way in that regard. But yeah, it definitely looks like they're a lot more sure of their feelings in the present than they were in the past. All right. And future position on your side, we have the Ace of Arrows. So I was talking about the Ace of Arrows energy within the Ten of Arrows there. Now here we see it in the future position. So if anything, I feel like this is saying that you finally have the insight that you needed, you know. So whatever uncertainty there might have been, it looks like that's going to be clearing up for you guys. You're going to feel a lot more sure of the information you have at that point. Now, for some of you, if this was all around you guys being stuck in your head, this could also just be saying that now you're finally able and ready to come forward and communicate what you're thinking. All right, future energy on their side, we have the Four of Swords. So this is Libra energy here. And usually this represents an energy of healing. So, you know, could be saying for some of you that might have been what it was too, where they weren't fully healed from a situation in their past. So that might have been why they might have been slower to actually get the emotional attachment behind the connection. And for some of you, if this was a situation where, like I said, for a small percentage of you, it could have been where you actually did decide to end the connection with this person. And then, like I said, it looks like there'd be something cleared up between their energy shifting in the present and then your future energy showing the Ace of Swords there. And then if that's the case, that would represent the two of you actually coming together to heal the connection. So that's what I see with that. All right. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have Love. So this is actually the Major Arcana card for Gemini. So obviously that representing your opposite sign, we do see that there is that desire there, I feel, for you guys to actually have this connection with this person. And it could just be saying that the love actually grows between the two of you. So whatever this is, whatever if it looks like a misunderstanding and whatnot, looks like there'll actually be a growth of those feelings. And it could be pointing to a timeline too, saying that, you know, once we're fully into Gemini season, you guys will actually be a lot more on the same page than you are now. And bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Eight of Swords. So this is actually Gemini energy as well. But usually it's the energy of being stuck in your head. So yeah, I feel like this is pointing to what I was saying there with that Seven of Cups energy, and then possibly pointing to what that Four of Swords energy was too, which is to say they might not have been fully over their past when you guys had first connected. And that's the case. The good thing is we do see the Ace of Pentacles beneath that, so it looks like they will be ready for that fresh start and actually putting the past behind them. Okay, so moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we'll see if we get anything from the Oracle Moonlight deck here. And I did pre-shuffle this deck before we started recording. And what I'm looking for here is just some jumpers. So first unspoken messages from you to them and then from them to you. And if nothing comes up after a while, I'll move on to the next Oracle deck. But sometimes we'll get additional messages here. So we'll see if we get any. Got one there. And next we'll see if we can hear from them to you. Okay, nothing coming up yet, but I'll give it a few more shuffles. Almost had one there. Oh, got one, but it fell. So let me pick that up, and then we'll take a look at both of your cards. All right. So on your side, we have Forbidden. It says, even though we shouldn't, I still want you. So that's an interesting message that I don't necessarily see how it fits into the equation. I suppose for a small percentage of you, maybe you or the other person is involved in another connection. I'm not really picking up on that. See if there's another reason why that could have come up. Yeah, I'm not sure where that's coming from, to be honest with you, but hopefully that resonates with someone, and then we'll see what we have on their side. Okay, well, yeah, that is interesting. On their side, it says, taken, I'm unavailable. So yeah, this definitely adds an interesting layer to the connection. So between that, it's like the desire there on this side, but knowing that it's forbidden, and then this person saying they're unavailable. Interesting message. Now, again, I still don't feel like this really resonates with the main spread that we just went through, but for a small percentage of you, I feel like obviously, given what we do see on your side, you would know if this other person was involved in another connection. And if that's the case, it looks like if that's what it is, then it could just be saying that they might actually be turning you down in that regard. So, interesting layer there that I wasn't expecting, but hopefully, like I said, hopefully that resonates with someone. All right, and last we will pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Same situation here as far as I pre-shuffle this as well. And here we're just looking for one card though, and then we'll wrap up. Alright, so I'll put the deck down and we'll pull a card. And I will say, this does remind me of the fact that toward the end of May, we're going to have Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign, so that could definitely bring that kind of dynamic into play where next might come back around and whatnot. But yeah, like I said, I feel like that'd be for a small percentage of you, but definitely be on the lookout for that. Alright, so yeah, let me tune in for a few seconds and we'll just pull a card from that deck. Okay. So we have Royal Heart. There's the artwork, and the number is 35. Okay, so it says fidelity, loyalty, devotion. The Oracle's message. Evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove they are faithful to you, and you in turn will commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you. No matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. So, interesting message there. Definitely, like I said, I had that Mercury retrograde vibe as far as those two messages coming up, but hopefully you got something from that. And the relationship message says your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. So, yeah, I mean, obviously that message would resonate for someone if they were considering some kind of a third party dynamic. Of course, naturally, I feel like you should avoid that, but everyone has their own path, I suppose. And just in case, I'll read the protection message in case that'll resonate with anyone. So, it says, Are you stubborn? Are you stubborn or overly tenacious about an idea? Or have you become so attached to something that you just know, excuse me, or have you become so attached to something that you just know don't, wow. Okay, I get what it's supposed to say. Sorry, let's try that again. Or have you become so attached to something that you just don't know how to let it go? Could it be that it's become so much a part of you that you wouldn't know who you are without it? Now is the time to look at outdated beliefs, old ideas, and misplaced loyalties. Betrayal is only a signal that it is time to prune away all who don't deserve your trust and have no place in your life. Be new, think new, and open your heart to new things. Let go of the old and all your attachments. Spirit has awesome plans for you. Make some room. So yeah, for those of you, if you were thinking about some kind of a third party dynamic, hopefully you got something from that message there. Like I said, overall, I feel like that would still be a small percentage of you guys. And like I said, the good thing is, given the message we see on your side, I feel like you would already know if this person was otherwise involved. So at least there's that. But yeah, we'll wrap up there and hopefully it resonated with you guys. And I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.